Okay, now don't make me yell at you, okay? Now, suppose this is the function f of x, okay? This red guy is h of x, and the green guy is g of x. When I say I want a tight estimate for big O of f of x, I mean I need to find the closest number such that for some k, if I ignore those k values, right? For some k, and if I say like, some constant c, f of x will always be less than c times h for, big enough natural numbers, right? Now, this is true that what you can interpret from this graph is that f of x is big O of h of x, right? Now you might claim that, well, why can't I say that f of x is big O of g of x? You are not technically wrong. It still works. But you know what is the wrong thing here if you were a computer scientist? This is a bad estimate, right? It's called, in computer science language, it's called overkill. You don't want to overkill, right? This is called a tight estimate. And that's what we want. Whenever I give you a question like this, you have to go through the graph and come up with a tighter estimate, okay? Now, don't say this is always going to be less than x to the power 10. It's true, f of x is OX10, I agree. But come to the smallest possible integer n. Now, can you think of something? Immediately discard, yeah, Daniel. We do x to the power 6, agree? Now, we can immediately discard this term, right? Discard 2x squared because it's small, it's irrelevant when x is very large. We can completely ignore that. The bigger term is x to the power 5 log x. You cannot say that this is less than or equal to x5 for some c, for some k, okay? It has to be a correct estimate. It will not work. Go back to this graph. Now you have to remember this graph also. I might post a announcement about this after exam 1, exam 2. You see this? N, and then we have n times log n, which is a good estimate, right? If I just go one power above. But you can't say that n is always going to be, n log n is always going to be n, because you see it's higher than that. Make sense? So I can go one more power and I'll have a tight estimate. So the big O, the smallest integer that works for this question will be x to the power 6 for all n greater than something, right? We can ignore this. We don't even want that answer. All I care about is for n equals 6, f of x is big O of x to the power 6, right? That's all I want, a good estimate that actually works. Make sense? Let's look at the next question. Now, some of them will be tricky. There will be questions which will be difficult in exam, but if you solve lecture notes and that ASU website, you will not have any trouble. Nothing will surprise you on the exam if you have solved every problem there. Now, look at this one. Well, even though the log is raised to the power 4, sometimes log will be raised to the power 400. We don't care. What is the log property? Right? This term doesn't really matter.
Is not inside of x. It's functions of log x.
Oh God. Did I rewrite this question wrong? I guess, but okay, yeah, I got this. Good job. This was just a test. I was making sure you're not sleeping. Only Daniel passed. If it was this, we don't care, right? This won't matter. It will just be 400 times log x. In this question, the power is still very small, but you have to be very careful. It should be theoretically correct. Every time you say, okay, I wanna find the least integer n such that this becomes a big O, I can say that f of x will always be less than or equal to 3x to the power 8 plus x to the power 4, right? Where x is greater than or equal to 1. Agree? Because log x ultimately is after x if you go to the graph with all the functions. So x grows faster than log x. So if I replace it with a higher function, I'm good, right? Now what is the lower term? I don't care about x4. So what is big O? It's a polynomial function. For polynomial function, we can, without wasting a second, we can say that big O is x to the power highest, whatever the highest exponent is, right? Okay, this was a trick question. Do I have something else? Same thing here. I have a linear. I have plus log x square. What is going to be the big O? Now, you could say f of x is O x square. But you know, if you try to draw the graph, you will see that I could also estimate it to be this will be log x, even if it's raised to a big power, is still less than a linear function. Okay, it just grows slowly compared to a linear function. So this will be, this is correct. This is not a bad estimate. This is not an overkill. I would still give you points for this question. But a better estimate is just power 1, just a linear function. How many are aware of Desmos in this course? You can, if this is new to you, try to plot log x square and try to plot the linear function, see how it behaves, and you will see that log x to the power 2 is still growing slower than the linear function. Okay, you'll notice that on the graph. So the log x square is somewhere in here.
I think it's one, like n, like log of x, that will the power of n is greater than 1, it will like intersect at some point.
And that point is okay with us, right? It intersects at some point. C n greater than or equal to k, right? But in this case, it's 2. Try it. You'll see that this is growing slower than linear. You can check that after you have a big enough C here, right? You can check that this will grow slower than this times if you have a big enough C. But we will come back to this. This is the only tricky part that you have to be careful of. We could be safe and say, oh, this is OX square for sure. This will be slower than OX square. But the OX is a good estimate. X square would be an overkill here. Let's see. Oh, I have one more thing. I have a side note here. You could also check it using limits. Side note. Okay, then I'll stop this video. You could also check your answer by checking the limit definition, right? The limit definition. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying that log x square is big O of x. You want to check that log x square over x, limit x approaching to infinity. What rule do I have to apply here? Because this becomes infinity over infinity. I need to do L-hops. What is the derivative of the first term? It's chain rule. It is still giving me infinity over infinity. What do? I do L-hops, right? 1 over infinity is. So this is telling me that log x to the power 2 is gonna grow slower than the linear function. Log x squared. Now, this square really doesn't matter here, right? This could be n or any number you pick. This square could be anything, any real number or any positive integer. You would still get 0. And what does that mean? Log x raised to any power is going to grow slower than the linear. So remember this for exam, okay? You can replace it. I just want to, how long has it been recording for? You can tell? Uh-oh. I just want to bring your attention to this question. I have x to the power 4, but before you say x to the power 4 as the big O, notice that x to the power 4 is cancelled in the denominator. How do I solve this question? I can ignore all these slower growing terms. They don't really matter. This function is big O of a constant. It's growing at a constant rate. Or you could say big O of x to the power 0. So n equals 0 here. This makes sense? This is an important example. Simplify, get rid of the irrelevant terms that are growing slower than your major, the dominant term. The dominant term in the numerator and denominator is x to the power 4. That's the term I'm interested in. What is happening here? What is the dominant term in the numerator? Dominant term in the denominator. When I try to simplify. Now, we haven't seen this question in the graph, but if you get a weird question like this, you can say that f of x is big O of x to the power -1. Yeah. Good question. You could say this is O1. This is slower than a constant function, right? Yes, you could say that, but that would be an overkill.
What I mean is this is faster than O1.
No, this is not faster than O1 because suppose you pick a constant to be, say c equals 100. Or do you want to just pick 1? Even if you pick 1, okay, fine. Right? What is this function? It's 1 over x. How does it grow? Does it grow like this? Doesn't it grow like this? Okay, wait, where is my Desmos? Okay, check this. Is it growing slower than, I forgot the graph of 1 over x. Oh, it's like this. So the x is, when x is very large, your function is even less than 1, right? So it's not, yeah, it's big O of 1. Yes, you're right. But overkill, right? So I don't want to say O1 here. That would be correct. F of x is O1 because x inverse is going to be less than c times 1.
No, he's not saying for the answer is O1. If you go back to the graph with all of the O notations, would it be faster than the one right there?
No, you saw the graph, right? It's going to be, for a small values is 1, and then it grows slower. It goes very close to 0.
So that's more terms, the more terms there are, the faster it would be. Is that correct?
the faster which function would be, 1 or 1 over x?
Is that correct?
Oh, yes, the faster it will be. Yes, you're right.
It's just up until the point of the intersection, of course, it goes up. You know what I mean?
Yes, I mean, it's lower in the graph. That means it's faster, right? We're going from the fastest to slowest. Sorry, I'm interpreting your question wrong. But you got this part that, where is it? That 1 over x is gonna grow faster. That means 1 is a higher complexity. That's what I'm trying to say. The constant function 1 has a higher time complexity compared to 1 over x. That's what I'm trying to say. 1 is slower than 1 over x. Yes. So be careful that we just don't get down in this rabbit hole of which is slower, faster. The graph means you're growing from the fastest to the slowest. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop this video because this question is not. Let me end this meeting.